We have quite a bit to share with you today that I'm excited about, but before we do, let me just make sure that everyone put their business card in the glass bowl out front. Got a nice special treat for you. If you didn't, just let me know and we'll put it in there for you. One thing I want to mention before we get started, the Pittsburgh Opera's upcoming performance of the premiere production, Glory Denied, there's a card on your table. I hope you will take advantage of this. It's about the story of Colonel Jim Thompson, America's longest held prisoner of war. There are 2 African-American males that will be featured in this performance: Terrence Chin Lloyd, who lives in Friendship, and Ben Taylor, who resides in Squirrel Hill. With us today is the development director for the Pittsburgh Opera, Michael Braxton. He's here, he'll answer any questions you might have about the performance, but I encourage you to go. What a treat we have. Pittsburgh has been lucking out getting some good people, and I'm just thrilled to introduce to you today Earl Braxton, who joined Partner for Work in June of last year as the Chief Executive Officer, succeeding the former CEO, Stephanie Pashman. Prior to joining Partner for Work, Earl was the CEO of Employ Milwaukee, the largest workforce development board in Wisconsin, where he was nationally recognized for the implementation and integration of a business-focused approach to workforce development, something we can take advantage of here. Earl has championed the Buford efforts to develop an unprecedented and nationally celebrated consortium of urban workforce boards and the Department of Labor united to build an innovative supply-demand model to cultivate talent development and employment engagement. Prior to taking the head of Employ Milwaukee in 2014, Earl Buford was the longtime leader of Milwaukee-based WRTP Big Step, one of the first intermediaries in the country which aimed at recruiting and building a diverse workforce in construction, manufacturing, and other emerging sectors. Hold on, we are pleased to have him here as a Pittsburgher now, and welcome Earl Buford.
Good morning, everyone. I'm normally a soft talker, so I'm going to point at the young man straight ahead. Can you hear me in the back? I can hear you. That's all that matters. We're good. Okay. All right, let's see what Jen wrote for me here. We know Jen Payeski, she usually puts everything together really nicely. So, all right, good morning. First of all, Doris, thank you for the introduction. Thank you for having me here. I'm now officially a Pittsburgher. I've been here about 8 months. I moved here officially 6 months ago, And for those who've heard me speak, especially my board, and I'll introduce them shortly, you've heard me say some of the same little quips every now and then. One was, my dad is a Steelers fan, because for one, he looked like Franco Harris, like very, especially in the 70s with the afro, the beard, and all that. So I was going around town for one, okay, I want to meet Mr. Harris. Please make sure it happened. Even Will couldn't make it happen. But as of yesterday, I was delivered to me, hand-delivered, autographed picture of Franco Harris, from Franco Harris. So I'm now officially a Pittsburgher. It's all right. Doesn't get any better than that. Well, I'm excited to be here today. I'm Earl Buford. I'm the CEO of Partner for Work, which is a local workforce development board. I'll talk more about what the workforce board is for those who don't understand or don't know. Hopefully it'll make some sense. Before I do that, I want to do a few introductions. Any of the board of directors here for Partner for Work. Mark Ladner, please stand. Quinn Bullock, please stand. Jeff Kaplan. Lisa Kuzma. Those are some of the board members of think we're about a 34 member board. If we're missing,
Will.
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 Sorry, Will. I can't just tease him at least. Thank you, Will. My apologies. And also members of our team. I believe we have a few members of our team here, Ray and McCray. So please bombard them with lots of questions afterwards. They are the experts. They know everything. And also we have Sonia Grant, who is our biggest contractor in our Title I contract. So time for you, LA. Thank you for being here this morning. So I just want to do that. So before I talk about what a workforce board is, I'll talk about myself for a minute, which I'm not very good at, but I'll do that. And I'm the byproduct of a high school pregnancy. My parents started dating and were pregnant with me. And luckily for me, they married and have had a pretty successful life because of that. But the reason I bring that up, hard work, determination, but a lot of help. So they both were from big families and were very supportive. Matter of fact, both my grandfathers, who by the way are both named Earl. So I have two grandfathers named Earl and a father named Earl, yeah. True story. So a very supportive family unit that way. But what's important in that story is, even when I had a child, my mother went back to school, became a teacher. My father went through a job training program that led directly to a job that became a 30-year job with Delco Electronics at the UAW plant. So I bring it up for a reason. To me, workforce development is not just getting someone a job or a career, it's winning the lottery. And so my whole philosophy is about how do we make all these parts fit together to create opportunity for companies to create wealth, be successful, and hire people, and the flip side, have people ready to take advantage of that and make a career out of it. It's really that simple of an equation. I think sometimes we make it harder than it is. And for those in the workforce space, you know that. I always say there's no more cutthroat industry than workforce development because there's such few resources. We fight like cats and dogs for those resources. With that said, that's important for me because I lived it. I've seen it work, and so I've built my career around making a safe haven for companies to thrive and for workers to find good work and good jobs. So there's no better place to be able to have a platform than at the African Chamber of Commerce, which is all about the same thing. So I'm excited to be here this morning. So a little bit of Workforce Board 101. If this is a repeat for some of you, I apologize, but I have the mic, so here we go. Workforce boards, there's about 800 workforce boards around the country. We were created through federal legislation. It's changed over the years. For those who've been around a while, the CETA days, JTPA, WIA, Workforce Investment Act, and now it's the Workforce Innovation Opportunities Act, or WIOA. So if you hear that acronym, you'll know it's about workforce and federal funding and stuff that comes together, just to give you some background. Like I said, there's about 800 workforce boards around the country. There's about 22 in just the state of Pennsylvania. I believe there are 4 boards in this in the greater Pittsburgh region, just to give you some idea. So no matter if you're in an urban area, if you're in a rural area, there is a workforce board that will work with you or can work with you or try to work with you at least. So I just want to give you that framework. Our responsibility as boards, and again, some people misinterpret what boards are. Some think we're a social service agency, some think we're a funder. I think we're a little bit of all that. We're a convener, all those things are our responsibility. But there's some buckets of things that we are really responsible for. And McCray, if I get this wrong, just give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down and we'll correct it, okay? We have 3 buckets of funding from the federal Department of Labor and the state of Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth. Youth, adult, and dislocated workers. Those are the 3 primary funding buckets that we're responsible for. A lot of stuff happens within that. So on the youth side, we've got out-of-school programming that we contract with a bunch of agencies that you are all familiar with. We do some in-school programming where we work with school districts, hopefully at a higher level. We're working on that. I found out to be with Dr. Hamlet, which our board is celebrating because it's taking us 8 months to get that meeting. So I'm excited about that. Flip side of that is on our adult side. So, our Earn and Learn program as well that we work with the city of Pittsburgh. Earn and Learn is one of our key responsibilities and key things that we work on and coordinate. On the adult side, dislocated workers. So if there's a major plant shutdown or one of your members is experiencing any kind of layoff, we can work with those folks to help them displace and move on to something else. So that's one thing that most people aren't aware of that our system is responsible for. On the training side, we have 2 levels of training, and I will get away from the nitty-gritty of this. We and our contractors will provide training vouchers to individuals to go through certain training classes, whether at CCAC or with a vendor of choice or even a company. We also provide wage subsidies through our on-the-job training programs. So we can work with individual companies, which I really want to promote today with chamber members to utilize our on-the-job training contracts so that if you want to take a chance on a new person, bring them on for a few months, we can help subsidize half their wages for a period of time. That's a big deal. So those are the things that we're responsible for. But in addition to those nitty-gritty things, our biggest job as Workforce Board is to bring all the players together, to really convene and get employers or industry and things like that. And so some of the things we're working on that's new, I would say new to this market, is the fact that we are trying to become even closer to what's going on in business and industry. I always say you can't give someone a job if you don't know what the job is at. So it's our job to find out exactly what's going on, whether it's forecasting or needs assessment or whatever you want to call it. Our job is to know exactly what's out there and how to access those jobs. Otherwise, you're doing what President Obama used to characterize as training and praying. And too long in this country, there's a lot of training and praying. Would you agree with that?
That's right, that's right.
Before I move on, how many members of the chamber are in the room today? So I'd say about half the room, okay. Nice job. So the other half, the other half of the room is joined, right?
That's right.
Okay. There's my plug. We did it. So, and again, training and praying is just not something that's worked very well in this country. And so it's our job to change that mentality and methodology. I like to say hope is not a strategy. So you can't just hope things are going to happen. You have to be really strategic about it. And I think as a workforce system, we're really working hard on that. Recently, our board of directors and I and some other outside stakeholders went through a transition committee and put together a plan. And again, these aren't earth-shattering things. These are things that make sense. But things as simple as work close to the business community, focus on education and partnerships, develop a more flexible workforce system, make career link better. For those of you who have dealt with career link, come on, right? More flexible and moving the speed of business and those kind of things. So we're excited to do that. It's not a condemnation, it's just a reality. And I can tell you right now, every city in this country has the same issue. Pittsburgh is not that particular to what Chicago's doing or Philadelphia's doing, especially because of Pittsburgh. But the same problems that are happening here happen in these other cities. And so that's why I take my approach to workforce is always universal. So one of the things I helped create about 4 years ago with my job in Milwaukee, when I ran the workforce board in Milwaukee, was Midwest Urban Strategies, which is a partnership of now 13 workforce boards across as far west as Wichita, Kansas, and as far east as Pittsburgh. And so imagine Chicago, Detroit, Minneapolis. So again, the idea behind that partnership is really threefold. And I'm so happy that the board here decided to join Pittsburgh. One was a community of practice. So the same problems that some of the cities are having, we now can work on strategies to solve that, whether it's youth employment or dislocated worker issues. We now have a platform to exchange ideas and look at best practices. And that's where it's golden in this whole world, is to be able to have something or someone you can exchange ideas with and work on. The other piece is policy. So one thing about when you're a workforce board dealing with federal policy and federal dollars, you're always at risk. I believe the number since 1992, workforce systems dollars have gone down by 40%. So I'm not sure where they're at, but we've dramatically dropped and continue to drop. So it's really important to blend our funding. That's what's important, that we have funders and philanthropy in this room. So working on federal policy together is universal. But the third thing we do well is raise money. I just talked about the dip in our federal funding, so we have to find other interests, whether it's philanthropy dollars or other federal dollars. So to date, since 2015, we raised about $20 million in federal money, and it's been spread across 12 of the 13 cities. The only city that has not used any funds is Chicago, but they're also the largest workforce board in the country at about $80 million. They didn't really need the dollars, but they need the partnership. I bring that to your attention, one, for information, but two, since we created that in Milwaukee, Pittsburgh, Partner Fork would now become the hub, the chief administrator of that organization. And the reason that's important is now those federal funds will be flowing through Pittsburgh out to the other cities. So think about that. So if we raise another $20 million in addition to what we're doing, that's more resources that stay in this community and all things that go with that. So I'm excited about that initiative, but most excited that we're gonna administer out of Pittsburgh. Yes, Ray, we're ready to do this. All right, good. So that's just kind of an overview of what the workforce system is, workforce board is, and the partnership we're into. What I'm really interested in is working with chamber members. I think, and especially with board's leadership, there's a large amount of you, there's a lot of you doing great things, a lot of you growing your businesses. How can we help you grow your business? That's the question. How we can support the chamber as a whole, how can we support your individual efforts and industry as a whole. So one of the things we're setting up right now, there are industry advisory councils. The reason that's important is, again, if you don't know where the jobs are at, you can't help people find jobs. And you can't just do what I call chasing employers around. You know, sometimes you see agencies that are in the workforce arena with job specialists or this or that, and they're calling employers, they're chasing them down, and I appreciate the efforts, but it's not coordinated or strategic. So we found that if you create councils of employers by industry, you have them at the table. So instead of us deciding what training programs are great, what about industry helping us decide what's a recognizable training program? And then say, okay, if you support this training program, I want to hire from that training program. And so that's one of the reasons why these councils become so important. So if you're interested in joining us for those councils, please do. Right now, I believe we're focusing on 7 sectors: construction, manufacturing, healthcare, hospitality and service, IT, transportation logistics. What am I forgetting? I'm forgetting one. Oh, financial services, our new banking program, right?
Construction.
Yep, construction first, yeah. So that's where we're starting right now. It could grow, but we're gonna focus on those for now. So to date, 3 of those 7 have really taken off. The construction piece is working out really well. We've got a strong partnership with the building trades. Now we can really grow our relationship with contractors. That's really important. And we've set aside about, I believe about $250,000 in training funds next year, focused on working construction. So if we need contractors in the room, let's talk about how we can help you with that. Second, on the financial services side, two important things are happening. One, we've been selected by a national organization called BankWorks to bring BankWorks to Pittsburgh. We'll be the 15th city. We'll beat out Washington, D.C., so that's pretty cool. But BankWorks is really an entry-level banking program. Again, it's already been vetted. It's already been approved. Employers and through Mark's leadership, banks have said, yes, we want this. So once graduates program, more than likely they will be placed in entry-level banking jobs with the idea of becoming back office careers down the road. So we're excited about that. There's about 10 banks on board already, led by Citizen. So we're excited about bringing that to Pittsburgh right away. The other piece that we're hoping to also bring is financial planning apprenticeship. Right now, the Principal Financial Group is leading the efforts nationally, so we're getting that registered in the state of Pennsylvania. So imagine financial planners. Anyone who's been a planner in this room or is a planner, you know that it's tough. You get about 3 or 4 months. They give you a stipend and a black book and say, call your parents and your neighbors and say, please, take my business. And then after 4 months, you're an individual contractor, right? Well, this apprenticeship, instead of that 4-month period, it's now a year-long period where you have a year of training from the agency and a year to grow your business. So the idea behind it was to stop the attrition, and particularly, more important, to bring more people of color, mostly African Americans, into financial planning. And so I'm really proud of Principal Financial and hopefully other institutions hoping to adopt that. We'll have to get it registered in the state of Pennsylvania soon. So just to give you some idea of the things we're launching into, we have a lot of work to do on the transportation logistics side. We all have heard about the CDL issue, and we're having some strong conversations with that industry, although they've given us some good insight lately about what their needs really are and steps they need to get to those drivers and that career, and they're also willing to put money on the table, so we're excited about that. So those councils are important to us as a board. Again, it's going to inform us and help us make key decisions about where our resources can go. And also, it helps us ask for the right resources that we need to plug, whether to fill gaps or to collaborate or bring things together. So it's really important. So any workforce practitioners out there who have great ideas and doing great things, let's talk about working together, and we can use some of that intel that we are receiving from our business leaders and make sure you have the right information as you put together your programming. So that's another aspect of our partnership that's important. So that's the industry side. So we're excited about where that's going. I'm excited to work with the chamber members. The flip side of it, so we fund about 40, 50 agencies in town. Is that the right number, McCray?
Yeah.
So about 40, 50 of your favorite agencies out there are funded by us in some way, shape, or form. And we're excited for that because, one, we like putting money into the community. But two, we also want to help build their capacity to do more. So, what's the inflection study say? There's 80,000 job openings right now. Or, think about this, 80,000 openings, but yet, how many folks we know can't find jobs? So that doesn't add up, does it? So how do we stop this shift passing the night phenomenon? So one way is to be smarter with our investment, leverage more with other investors so that we're really, again, not training and praying, it's really connecting folks to the right jobs. Then there's another piece that we're looking at as an agency and hoping other partners adopt this, and that's, we sometimes forget about the folks that are working. We tend to go recruit just those who are unemployed. I have to be careful I say this because I'm not condemning that, but I'm saying we're missing folks that are working already who want a better job or a better career or ready for a better career. And so this whole ecosystem of workforce rarely connects that way. It's transactional. We get this person a job or train and move on. How do we start to really think about the folks that are working $10, $15 an hour jobs, get them ready for those $25 to $30 an hour jobs? So that's going to be a big focus of our recruitment efforts and our partnership efforts moving forward, whether it's through our partnership with community college or our partnership with other agencies. How do we start to get those folks who've been trained in the past into the upward mobility of a better job? And so those are some of the philosophical things we're thinking about as a board. And I'm purposely jumping around because I'm excited about what we're doing, but I want you to hear all the things and how they come together. And also, we need your help. We need advisors in our advisory councils on the business side. We need partners that want to do good work. We need employers that want to utilize our services or to work with us to help us help you. So those are kind of three key things I want to kind of lay out there as we discussed this morning. What it is that we're trying to do, what it is that we're doing, what it is that we want to do moving forward. So with that said, McCray, right now, and Sonia, from an OJT standpoint, what's our process for getting companies into the process? Do they contact us? Do we contact them? How is that working presently?
It's both.
It's both, okay.
So we do referrals in, and then we also seek out those employers.
Excellent.
And then those employers engage with us, we give them our package, we go in, we talk to them, we go take tours through their facilities to make sure it's conducive for the workers they're trying to employ.
Sonia's the best in the world out there, so what she says is golden, and we're excited that that's of interest. So, Doris, question for you. What's the best way to leave information for your members?
I'll just call our office.
Okay.
You will be lucky enough to get Sean Hicks, who's in the room, on the phone, and he's kind of the traffic controller that directs things to myself and Keisha Mohammed.
Okay.
But we'll get it out.
Okay, perfect. So I'm thinking maybe we do a future chamber meeting. We bring our staff over and do it.
We'll set up a workshop for you.
Perfect. Okay, it's on record now. We have to do it now.
It's on record.
It's on record, right, exactly. So, before I end, are there any questions or any comments or maybe you would like to ask? Transplant, someone, here we go. Hello, sir, how are you?
Hi,
Who are you,
Harry
first of all?
Nathan with Concierge Pittsburgh and an organization to retain and attract African-American professionals. But my question has nothing to do with that. It was some previous work I did with the retail industry that was struggling with, and you alluded to this, helping people get off the first rung on the job career and get to the second one. Because it was a big challenge they were having is we can get people, we give them jobs, but no one's prepared for the second level.
Yeah. No, actually, I'm glad you brought, I think this country has failed in that regard. I think it's been a very transactional workforce experience where, again, you have a training program, you train them, you place them, you're done. And actually, by our system, once we fund someone, that first, we can't fund them again. Although we're changing that policy thanks to our board leadership. So think about that. Someone gets trained and placed, we can't do anything else with them. Okay, that doesn't add up. So one of the things we're changing is just that. We're trying to figure out whether it's through funding or other cycles where we start to recruit and promote upward mobility. So, and retail is probably the ideal place to start. I worked with some big box retailers in my past world, and we actually, there were four box retailers, just imagine this. And they were coming to us for our placement numbers were high because there's so much attrition. So that looks good on paper and on performance, but it wasn't realistic. So we cut a deal with 4 of them and said, when you're going to lose, unless you're going to promote this person, you're going to lose them eventually. You either want a better pay or a better job. So why don't you send it back to us, let us help them move on to get retrained to the next job, and then we backfill with someone new. And it sounds easy and smooth, the way I just said it, but it was not. It took us about 2 years to get them to agree to that. But once they agreed to it, it became pretty cyclical for them, and it worked out. So imagine big box retailers or McDonald's, other entry-level places having that same kind of system. So that's something I'm hoping we get to develop here, where we're looking at this great new talent that knows how to go to work. And so, okay, now is your opportunity to find a better career, because that's what employers want. They want someone who knows how to go to work, right? So we're hoping to work that out here. But traditionally, this country, the workforce has not done just that. They've done everything but that work, that middle group of talent. So,
I have a question, and I probably should be the last one to ask, but, you mentioned that if people are in jobs, you can help them find other positions to move up? Because we get a number of people, as some of you know, that will call us and say, you know, I'm looking for a job, or I'd like to know where to go to get a job. They can contact Partners for Work and then kind of be mentored through.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll walk you through the system. Whoever our providers or contractors are, we'll make sure that happens. But our job is to get someone into a job and upwards to a career. But also to help your companies and to prove that you're. So, in closing, I just want to say thank you for allowing me to come this morning. Thanks for meeting some of you for the first time. You're gonna laugh. I did not bring business cards.
You did that.
But,
We know how to find.
right, exactly. But just any way you like to get involved, contact us. One last thing. We're now setting up once a month each Friday. We're working the kinks in this. We're gonna have you can call it a meet and greet or a Shark Tank, whatever you call it. But we're gonna start having folks with new great ideas come to us with those ideas. And so we'll make an announcement on how that's gonna work. But we're excited to get these new ideas, because let's be honest, there are a lot of good ideas up there that we need help and assistance, so we're working that system out to have you come in and give us these fresh new ideas. So again, thank you for having me. I'm so blessed to be here, and I'm glad to be official Pittsburgher now.
Yes, yes, you're welcome, thank you.
On the record, huh?
That was helpful, I learned some things too, because we get people that will call us and say, you know, I've been looking for a job and I'm stuck. It'd be nice to refer them to Partners for Work and maybe help them find a better location or a new one. You put your business cards in that glass bowl out front, and let me tell you what that is for if you hadn't figured it out. March 2nd, the Pittsburgh Symphony will host Lift Every Voice. I don't know how many of you attended last year. It was awesome. And they're planning it again for this year. And Sean has the glass bowl with all of the tickets in it. Mark, why don't you come up and...
Wait, hold on. Thank you. I won't win, I promise.
Okay, Mark, you're on. You'll receive 2 tickets.
Earl Buford. No. I don't my glasses, I can't read. Ellie Kane.
Oh, you're not done?
I'm not done.
We have 5 sets of 2 tickets. Oh, I was on the wrong side. Oh, Dottie Cole. Salome Bay.
One more?
You've got 3 more. Andrea Stanford. And finally, Felicia Alexander. I don't know how many of you had the opportunity to go last year, but it was just remarkable. It was wonderful. Go enjoy. These are tickets from our member, the Pittsburgh Symphony. Enjoy good health. Thanks, Sean. I want to share with you, since two of them are here, last Friday, I had the opportunity to serve as a moderator for a panel at our member Chatham University on African American women in business. And Salome Bay and Kelly Wilson were two of the panelists. And I just wanted to congratulate them. They did an awesome job. Nobody knows who you are because you didn't stand or wave. Yeah. Thank you all, members who attended the members' orientation. If you haven't, you have to come. You have to come to a members' orientation, and it will answer for you questions about the chamber. We hold them in January and in June, so if you want to come, we had people come for a refresher, which is nice to hear because we update our benefits and programs. So we'll have one in June. You'll hear more about that. Thanks for attending our power breakfast with the county executive. He always enjoys starting the year off with us, and we enjoy having him. We had Jim Futrell from the Allegheny Conference Regional Alliance to give us a Southwestern Pennsylvania Demographic Challenge workshop, talking about the workforce, Earl, and what's happening here in our aging population and what that means. We had 45 people come out, not only for the workshop, but to engage in next steps and talk about what it meant to them and how they would work with it. So we appreciated all that. We've got some new members since our last meeting. If you're present, please stand and hold your applause until I'm done. Kevin Roberts, J.D. Milberg Financial, Ben Johnson Real Estate Group, Lamar Thurman, Northwest Bank. Thank you for being here, and thank you for doing this. We have also had, since January, 2 new members join us through our partnership with Bridgeway Capital. As many of you know, small business owners that receive loans through Bridgeway Capital are part of a program that we have where they become chamber members. So we orientate small business owners that are new on what it means to be part of an organized body. At the end of the year, we want them to join us, obviously, but we want them to join the chamber because it's important for their growth. Upcoming programs, and you have a lot of information on the table, but I want to go over a couple things and make sure you have it. We've got a big How to Do Business workshop coming up. This is for chamber members. It will be February 21st. Catherine Kellerman and her team, and she's got a new team in place too, will be having it at the Coppers Building. You want to attend this if you want to do business with the Port Authority. They've got a lot of new things in place. The Power of Credit and How It Impacts Your Business is a workshop that we're doing for our Junior Chamber of Commerce with Dr. Bullock's organization, CCAC. And that's something that you have to call us to get more information about that. We've got a members mixer coming up at the Pittsburgh Technology Center. Our member is hosting us there, and if you haven't been over on the north side to see that facility, it's really lovely. You need to come join us for that. So Audrey Russo is planning to really roll out the carpet for us, and I encourage you to take advantage of it. Next month, we have the Chancellor Emeritus at the University of Pittsburgh, Mark Nortenberg, who will talk about his role with the University of Pittsburgh's Institute of Politics. They've just hired a new director, he'll be talking about that, their recent announcements, the impact it has on small businesses and small communities. So please come out for that. He's been a big supporter of the chamber when he was chancellor. He has remained in contact and works with us, and the Institute of Politics is worth it. We've got another members only how to do business workshop coming up at Rivers Casino. You got it? If you haven't received it, we've got a lot of, this is going out, right? You'll get a mailing. But it's included in the mailing for Rivers Casino. They're really doing some great things over there for us. Let me thank, she's not here with us, Judy Wiljanis and the Christine Freckard, Frechard, thank you, Frechard Art Gallery. We had a mixer there. It's down on Butler Street in Lawrenceville. Lovely, just lovely. And if you haven't been down there, you might want to work your way to see about it. Take advantage of it because it's nice space. I want to thank Janae Oliver, who was here with us. There she is. We had a Allegheny County Airport Authority session. They're doing great things out there, and you're going to hear more about them as we move toward the end of the year. We've got some other announcements that will be coming up with Christina, so stay tuned on that one. We also have a members mixer that we encourage you to take advantage of at Hosanna House. Hosanna House has a new place called Hope, and near Sherwood Center. We're having a mixer out there on March 28th. You'll get all of this in the mail if you haven't received it already. And you know we send out emails to make sure that everyone is engaged and gets the information on time. The one thing I want you to be aware of and mark on your calendar is April 26th is our annual meeting and annual business luncheon. The president of Carnegie Mellon University, Fernan Jahariath, will be our speaker. I did say it right, wonderful. The president will be our speaker. Wonderful man, full of energy, very engaging with the chamber, and we look forward to having him there. We're holding our candidates forum the first week in May. You'll hear more about it, and we're doing it for City Council District 4. That's currently held by Councilman Ricky Burgess, and we're putting that together. But don't forget, we're also having Mayor Bill Peduto that month as our Power Breakfast speaker. We're having a mixer at Arnold's Tea Room. Has anybody been there?
Yes,
Isn't that nice?
really nice.
It's great.
Yeah, it's really great. Chef Claudia is going to host us. And mark this on your calendar. May 31st, we will hold our second golf clinic. Those of you, and you have to come, it is not for you professionals who proclaim that you know everything. It's for all of us that are new, starting out, or we think we know everything. And we're bringing in Anthony Stephanie, again from Florida, golf professional, and he will walk us through the mechanics and help to get us engaged. I want to thank Earl for being here. He's such a nice addition to have in the city. Very warm and willing to work with all of us. I encourage you to talk to him, take advantage of Partners for Work. Have a wonderful week, and we look forward to seeing you again soon. And thank you to Partners for Work Board, Mark, their board chair, and Deb Kaplan, who's always on the ball with it, Lisa Kutzman, and Dr. Bullock for being here. Thank you all.